Guys, this is a warning because the tips today I'm going to give you are going to make you extremely wealthy, and your future self is going to thank you later. Now, I know you've probably heard of multiple different ways to actually build wealth, but today I'm going to give you 5 investing habits that will change your life and actually put you ahead over the next 10 to 40 years. Investing can be scary, it can be complex, especially when you don't know what you're doing, but it doesn't have to be, and it's really the number one way to actually build wealth for your future. So when you're investing, just think of it as every single dollar that you're basically deploying into your investment portfolios is actually a little worker for you, and its job is to go out and actually give you more money and build on top of itself. So when you're buying stock, you're actually buying a piece of that company. Well, it doesn't really seem like you are because you don't really have a say-so in decisions for the company, but you actually are buying a small fraction of that company. So you're technically a owner. So now as an owner or an investor of the company, you now get the benefits of also owning the company. So when the stock market goes up, you make money. When people buy the stock, you make money. When the company just, has a big year and makes a bunch of profits, you make money. Now there's also a downside to that. So being an owner, you could lose money if you have bad years, people sell your stock, and that's just part of investing. So let's dig a little deeper into it. So looking at the S&P 500, we can see that the average return for the S&P 500 per year is around 10%. So that means every dollar that you put in per year, you are going to get 10 cents back on average. Or every 100, you would get 10, every 1,000, 100, 10,000, 1,000, etc. And the S&P 500 is really just an index that tracks the top 500 companies in the United States. And so on average, if it's getting a 10% return, if you're invested in, the top 500 companies in the United States, then usually you would get around a 10% return. Some of those companies are going to go negative some years, some are going to go positive, but that's the reason it's called an average. So now that we see that if we invest our money, we can actually get a return on our money, that helps us because, especially with current days, inflation is crazy high. And so if you just have money sitting in the bank as cash and you're not investing it, you're actually losing money. So if an inflation is around 5%, then you're actually, for every dollar that's sitting in the bank, next year that dollar is only going to be worth 95 cents. And so if you invest it, that dollar could actually be worth $1.10. And so you actually beat inflation, and it's actually 15 cents better than what it would have been sitting in the bank. And so think about it this way. For every dollar that you have, it would be worth $1.10 instead of 95 cents. So it's 15 cents difference. So say it's $100. Well, now it's not just 15 cents, it's $15. Say it's $1,000. Well, now it's $150. Say it's $10,000. You would have a difference of $1,500 all because you invested and got a return of 10% compared to just having that as cash and actually losing that 5 cents per year. Okay, so you've heard my little spew on why you should invest, because you're not going to lose money and hopefully you make money and you're going to beat inflation. But what are the habits that's actually going to make you wealthy and actually make you maybe a potentially millionaire if you're consistent and dedicated enough with investing? So the first habit, and this is one that you need to start today, is to just start investing ASAP. The number one way to invest is probably a 401k or a Roth IRA. Just get started at your job. A lot of employers have match bonuses, which means you're automatically getting a 100% return on your money. So every dollar you put in, you're already getting, a dollar back just from the matching. That's not including the actual investing and the compound interest that you get from investing over a period of time. But yeah, you just have to start today. Start ASAP, start right now as fast as you can, because time is the most crucial thing when you invest. When you start investing, you get to experience the 8th wonder of the world. What is the 8th wonder of the world? And that is compound interest. And that's actually a quote from Albert Einstein. So compound interest is actually interest earned on top of interest. So it really makes your money start growing fast, especially the longer that it is actually compounding. So let's take an example. So say I invest $1. Next year, it's worth $1.10 if I get a 10% return. And now that money is going to get interest earned on top of it. So now 10% of $1.10 would be 11 cents. And so then I would have $1.21 the following year. And so it just keeps compounding and you just keep growing faster and faster like a snowball rolling down a hill. But the thing is, the snowball gets bigger the longer it's rolling down the hill. And so you have to be in the market, you have to be invested for longer in order for that snowball to actually grow. So if you're a little older, you're gonna have to put more money in compared to if you're younger. That snowball will naturally just get bigger and bigger and bigger, especially if you're in the market for 40 years. And so that's what you want. You want to start as early as possible because that snowball will keep growing, and the only way to stop it is if you actually stop investing money, or if you pull it out, which is not a smart thing to do, especially if you're investing for your future self. And trust me, your future self will definitely thank you later when you're sitting on a whole pile of money and you're a millionaire with maybe no mortgage because you already paid off your house. And so, yeah, it's just a really good thing to start now, start early and as fast as possible. So this leads me to habit number 2. This one's also very important because if you don't follow this, you might get burned. And from personal experience, I have gotten burned a time or two, and that is to not try to time the market. So when you try to time the market, sometimes it ends up burning you because you want to wait to buy a stock, or you want to wait to invest because you think the stock market's going to go down, or you think a certain company or stock is going to go down, or maybe it's going to go up and you don't want to sell it yet. And that's just not good to try to time because, like I said, I've been on the wrong side of things where I'm buying high and selling low, and that's not where you want to be. You want to buy low, sell high, so that you can make as much profit as possible. And then you start having FOMO, and then you jump back into the market, and now you're, continuously just losing money because you're like, oh, it's gonna go down to the bottom, it's gonna tank completely, the stock market's done, we're in a crash, I'm selling everything. And then it actually doesn't, and it goes up, and then you get FOMO, and then you buy in, and then it starts going up, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna ride it. And yeah, it's just not a fun experience. You start getting super stressed. And from personal experience, like I said, I would not try to time the market. It's just not a fun thing to do. And sometimes people get lucky, and that's fine. That's cool. If you have, a lot of risk and you're not scared of it, you're okay with losing a bunch, hey, go for it. I still have my small risk assets that I do buy and sell. But yeah, just get in your 401k and just keep investing every single paycheck. Create a budget. Hey, invest every Monday, invest. Hey, every Tuesday, whatever it is, every week, every month. Just make sure you keep investing, and no matter what, over time, like, the stock market's going to go up. Plus, you can go back all the way to 1926, and if you look at a 20-year period, so if you're in the market for 20 years, you have never had a negative result. So with that being said, if you're in the market, you keep buying, and even over 20 years, you're not going to be negative. And this takes me to habit number 3. So habit number 3 is to don't invest money that you need for now. So you're not going to invest money and then be like, oh yeah, I need that next month, and then take it back out. Because at that point, there's no point in having it. You're going to have to pay capital gains tax, short-term capital gains tax, and that's just not fun anyways for your taxes. That's not fun for anybody. And then also the compound interest doesn't get to work. You just really don't get a big return unless you're trading and investing in like a meme stock or cryptos and stuff. There's really no point. And in this video, it's not to get rich quick, it's to build wealth. And building wealth, like I said, you start now, you let compound interest work its magic, you continuously invest money. You be consistent, you're dedicated, and then you don't put money in if you need to spend it today. Investing should be a long-term strategy. It should not be a short-term strategy. If you're doing a short-term strategy, it's more of a gamble. You can still call it investing, but it's really a gamble, a strategic gamble, where you think you can make money on something short-term. But building wealth and investing is a long-term strategy, and so think of it as that. And so if you need money tomorrow or next month, don't invest that money. Only invest what you can without having to touch it, because you want your compound interest, like I said, to actually work. So habit number 4, and this one's also very, very important. Honestly, one of the more important ones, and I've already touched on it a little bit, and that's consistently investing. If you can't consistently invest, and you say you put $100 in an account, and then you say, hey, in 40 years, I want to be rich, that's not possible. Maybe some assets like a crypto or something like that might blow up, but for building wealth and actually investing, you want to be able to feed your investing account, your portfolios. And so picture a snowball that you want to build, and you build a little snowball and then you push it down a hill, but there's no snow because it's not consistently getting rolled on or fed. Then how is it going to grow? It's not. It's going to stop, and it's just going to sit there, and it's going to be just as big basically as what you started with. So the best way to consistently invest is going to be creating a budget. And the first thing you put on your budget is, I want to invest X amount every single month. And so if you want to invest $100 a month, so $1,200 a year, you're going to say, I'm going to invest this $100 every single month. And that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to pay myself first, my future self first, in order to have that snowball, have that consistency, have that compound interest actually take effect. You want to pay yourself first, because if you don't, then you're going to end up saying, oh, I have all my expenses, I have this, and also I got 5 Starbucks drinks this month, and I went out to eat 5 times, and I spent $200 eating. But that's not going to get you to consistently investing, because at the end of the month, you're going to say, oh, I don't have the money to invest. But if you already have a budget, if you already invest, if you set up an automatic withdrawal to invest, if you have it come out of your paycheck, whatever it is, now you have to live off of what is in your bank account. Now you have to live and budget around what you have left. If you haven't spent the money, then you already have the money in your account. And then that can just lead to bad choices, because say, oh, I still have this extra $100. I really want to go to Topgolf today, or I really want to go get a beer with some friends. Well, if you don't have the money, you're not going to go out. But if it's already invested, it's already working. And so you're deploying your little workers to go work for you to bring you back money for your future self. But you can't do that if you don't have any money to spend. So you need to consistently invest by setting up an automatic withdrawal from your check, from your bank account, whatever it is, every single month on the 15th or whatever date you set. I'm going to invest X amount. And then it just comes out automatically. You really never even notice it, and you just build your budget around that. And if you don't like the thought of that, think of it as just rewarding your future self for expenses in the future. Or if you retire or whatever it is in the future, you have money that was working for you for the last 40 years or however long it is. It's just all about consistency, dedication, and really saying, hey, I'm going to do this for my future self because I want to be wealthy one day and I want to be a millionaire. That's going to lead me to my 5th habit, and that is to invest in what you understand. If you don't understand something, you probably don't want to get your foot wet in it. If you only understand, stocks can make me money and my 401k is offered through my job, cool. Start through your 401k and just start investing. It'll come straight out of your paycheck. Usually your employer matches, which means you're automatically getting 100% of what you're investing. If you know what crypto is, invest in crypto. It's more risky, but invest in it. If you know the stock market, set up an account on Robinhood, Webull, Crypto.com, Coinbase, whatever you want to invest with, and set it up and have automatic withdrawals, and just don't look at it. If it goes down, oh well, just let it sit long periods of time, like I said earlier, and eventually that snowball will start going and you'll make some money. And like I said, this is all about dedication and paying your future self to be wealthy. The best way to start investing, if you've never invested, is just let your job offer you a 401k or a Roth IRA, whatever it is, and invest through that. If you're interested in more, watch some of my future videos, because I'm definitely going to be going more in depth about investing. But there's tons of research out there, tons. Just study it, watch articles or watch videos, read articles, do whatever you got to do to understand things and invest more and more, because it's about your future self. It's about paying your future self. It's about becoming wealthy, and hopefully one day you'll be able to sit back, kick your shoes up, and when everyone else is working and saying, man, how do you have that much money? You say, because I was dedicated and paid myself in the past, I let my little workers get deployed and make money for me, and now I can sit back and be wealthy and understand what I'm doing and just have a good time. If you got any knowledge out of this, please subscribe for future videos. I'm going to go more in depth in investing, more side hustles, more just things about wealth, money, finance, everything. And so I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Please comment down below how you like to invest. What do you invest in? Is it crypto? Is it stocks? Do you just have a 401k? What's your goals? What's your budget every month? Just let me know below. I like talking. I like a community. I like networking with people, and I like to be active on social media. And remember, you can do all things through him that give us strength. Later, guys.